IHSAA girls soccer semifinals from Hamilton Southeastern High School. Tonight, the second game features the Noblesville Millers and the Anderson Indians. Dan, we saw a really, really good match in the earlier game between Fishers and HSE, with the Royals squeaking one out 3-2 to advance to the championship game. And now we've got the, I guess all you could call them is the heavily favored Noblesville Millers coming in here against the Anderson Indians.
Yeah, I'd say Noblesville is heavily favored here. They're a good team, play a really, really strong schedule, and they were conference winners in the most difficult conference in the state. So we'll see what Anderson's got for them. Similar to the game the other night, Anderson's only got 3 starters on the bench, and that could cause some problems also.
Yeah, the same situation that you guys, that we ran into the other evening with Muncie Central. They just had 3 subs, and unfortunately for Muncie Central, the Hamilton Southeastern Royals just kind of wore them down, to say. We are ready to go here. Thank you for joining us here on Hamilton County Television, brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. I'm Brad Silbert along with Dan Axe. The sun has set. The whole game will be played under the lights tonight, Dan, so we don't have to worry about shadows, glares, or anything like that. Might have to worry a little bit about slippery field, though, right?
It's a pleasant night here. Very, very comfortable. Not cold.
Millers will be in their black uniforms with white numbers. The Indians in white uniforms with green numbers on their back. Millers will be moving right to left here in the first half. Indians will be moving left to right. Millers bring it down into the zone. Jenna Chatterton. There's a call early there, Dan.
If you're with us for the earlier game there, you saw some of the top players in the state, and you got some right here on this field too. Jenna Chatterton, number 13, is as good as it gets.
Jenna's got 10 goals, 10 assists so far this season. Millers with an opportunity here, coming in on the goal, shot, and a goal early.
It's 1-0, and it was
Sydney Anderson, I believe.
Anderson, yes.
Sydney Anderson with the goal at 39:01. Perfectly set up there by the Millers, and the goaltender for the Indians just did not have a chance on that.
No, she didn't. Well done. Not well defended.
Indians try to get into the Miller offensive end of the field. Millers take it right back. Send it down on the far side of the field. Nice job of defense there by the Indians to prevent getting any closer, but the Millers take it right back and put it back toward the center to reset the offense. Mallory Malloy had it.
It's a freshman there, Grace Taskey, that he's brought up to replace an injured player. She's played very well. I think she's played every minute since she came up from their GV.
She's done a great job since she came up, Dan, the games we saw her in earlier this season.
Ball out to Chatterton.
Another
Makes
chance.
A move.
Shot. Nice save there.
Nice save. Keeper spills a little bit. It's come right back out to Noblesville.
Anya Stevens is in the goal tonight for the Indians. Annabelle Deandra comes off the bench, the first sub. The Indians only have 3 players on the bench, Dan. That's going to be tough on them, although it is not a real hot night, but still a little bit warm and a little bit humid.
And Noblesville's going to run you ragged. So
Mm-hmm.
Noblesville already has 3 subs here at the line, and we're only 3 minutes into the game.
Miller's working the ball back to the Indians' end. 1 goal so far for the Millers, but a couple of other good opportunities. Here's an opportunity for Jenna Chatterton. She sets it into the center. Could have taken a shot, but she elected to try to center the ball.
McKenna Malloy could have taken a shot as well.
Mm-hmm. .36-13 on the clock. Indians and the Millers, whoever wins this game tonight, will face the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. That one hit the goaltender's best friend right off the post.
Yeah. Another shot, another save.
Miller's keeping the pressure on here. Jenna Chatterton. McKenna Malloy. Back out high. Miller's reset. And that one goes out of bounds, but the Millers will retain the possession. Thank you for joining us tonight on Hamilton County Television. Girls 3A Soccer Semifinals, Sectional 8, brought to you by our friends at Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. I'm Brad Silbert. Dan Axe is to my right. Dan, the ace expert here.
So he's already subbed out Sydney Anderson and Jenna Chatterton. They may not see a lot of time tonight.
I wouldn't think they would. Dan, it's obvious right from the get-go here that the Indians are going to be just outplayed here.
If I remember right, this is a team that took Fishers to penalty kicks last year in the sectionals. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy, almost another goal there. Good opportunity for the Millers, but just could not get the foot up in time to get the deflection.
Looks like 5 seniors on this team, so they've got some of those players back.
Still 1-0 here in favor of the Millers. From Hamilton Southeastern High School in the eastern part of Fishers. Glad to have you with us tonight. Miller's trying to get it set up once again in the Indian zone. McKenna Malloy centers it, but nobody is there.
Seen the ball a lot tonight.
Yes, she has. Miller's get a shot off, saved by the goaltender. Anya Stevens, the goaltender for the Indians.
Casey Hoopengartner getting quite a bit of time already tonight. She's seeing the ball in there.
I got a correction on you. That's Anja Coward in the goal.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Anya Stevenson is playing defense. Look down at my sheet and realize I've been calling it wrong. My apologies. About 32.5 here in the first half. Millers just keep possession of the ball in the Indians' end. Malloy in front. Here's a chance for the Millers, and they score. I think that was number 9.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Bella Griffey. That comes at the 32-18 mark.
I think it was from Malloy.
So Bella Griffey gets her 5th goal of the season. And Malloy picks up her first assist of the season.
And Noblesville immediately subs 8 players.
That's a correction on me. That's 6 assists for McKenna Malloy. Miller's out to an early 2-0 lead.
Into the game for the Millers, number 4, Kenna Corley, number 10, Riley Malloy, number 11, Morgan Peters, number 3, Kylie Roberts.
Dan, we got some new names and numbers to learn here, don't we?
Yes, we do. These are people we haven't necessarily seen this year.
Yeah.
And we've seen them quite a few times.
Yeah, but every game we've seen the Millers so far this year has been a very good competitive game. And the second string didn't get a whole lot of chance to play. Cross, oh my, went right across the goal mouth twice. 3rd time for the charm. And the Millers pick up another goal.
Goal by number 22, Kiana Seifert.
Kiana Seifert gets that goal at the 31-37 mark. So it is 3-0. Less than 10 minutes into the first half, Dan. Pretty much what I think we expected.
I think it is too.
Miller's back in their own zone, trying to get organized for another attack. Riley Malloy is out there now. Maggie Bischoff. Millers will have another chance here, but they cannot connect. There's a shot by Abby Baker, which is
Another name.
stopped by goaltender Houck Coward. Millers have the ball back in play. Kylie Roberts sends it back to the goaltender. And the Millers will reset the offense. That one's going to go over to the Indians. Indians will put another substitute in.
6 for 22, 23.
That's, Ariel Sanchez coming in.
For the Indians, number 6, Ariel Sanchez.
Renaya Jordan gets some relief. Tough situation for Anderson here, only having 3 players on the bench, Dan.
Yes, it is. But we saw it the other night, same thing at with Muncie Central.
Mm-hmm.
I think Coach Brady's going to have the same task ahead of him that Coach Davidson had.
Yes, yeah. Ball goes out of bounds. Indians with the inbound.
Into the game for the Indians,
They'll do it again. As there is another substitution coming in for the Indians. Indians and the Millers in the second game of Sectional 8, the semifinals here from Hamilton Southeastern High School. On Hamilton County Television, brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners. Also our friends at Noblesville Trophies. Indians finally get the ball back momentarily, but the Millers take it right back away, send it back into their own zone to reset the offense. Kylie Roberts with the ball, brings it up the far side here, hands it off to Riley Malloy. Malloy sends it down into
A little too far.
the Anderson zone, just in front of number 21, Miss Curram James. Ball goes out of bounds. Indians with the inbound.
The winner of this game will play HSE at 2 o'clock on Saturday.
And we will have that game. But we're trying something unique. There will be no announcers for that game. It'll be audio only. You'll hear the crowd.
Video only.
Video. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I say audio? I meant no audio, video only. I got it backwards. Indians will put the ball back in play from just outside of the center circle. Millers take it right back away from them. Indians just have not been able to get anything going at all here, Dan, in the first 13 minutes or so of this half. 27 minutes, a little bit over 27 left here in the first half. Miller's bringing it down the far side, trying to get it centered. They cannot. Poked away by the Indians, but the Millers take it right back. Nice 360-degree turn there. See if they can get the deflection and get another goal, but the Millers cannot pull it off. Millers bring it back out. Comes back to the midfield stripe where Riley Malloy will start the play. Malloy sends it over to Morgan Peters. Peters gets it across the center. Streaking down the far side is Abby Baker. She's 1 on 3. That one's going to just roll right in front of the net there. Fortunately for the Indians, there were no other Millers there, Dan. Otherwise, they'd have had goal number 4 already.
Yeah, I think Coach Brady's put some controls in here. He's got 6 players in his own half when they had the ball all the way down there. So working that sportsmanship.
Well, Dan, you've got to give him credit for doing that because there are some people who just plain and simple would not do that. They would just run up the score, period.
And there's criticism both ways.
Yes. I like the sportsmanship angle myself.
Yeah, that's okay. There were some issues, I think, last night, the boys' game against HSE against Muncie Central, and I think there were some controls put in and try to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, with a blind draw, Dan, you're going to have some of these matches that are just going to be powerhouses against teams that just aren't there yet.
It's a tough sectional for teams like Muncie Central and Anderson that they don't play in big conferences, and that makes puts them at a disadvantage.
Well, even Pendleton Heights playing here, they weren't quite as at a disadvantage, but
Pendleton Heights held Fishers scoreless for the first half, and then gave up a early PK in the second half, and then only one other goal and lost 2-0. So it was a very good screwing. Yeah.
Against a very good team, a top 10 rated team.
Yep. One that carried Hamilton Southeastern to a nail biter here tonight.
That was an interesting game to watch. It was it really seemed to go in streaks. It seemed like there was a period there that the Tigers couldn't keep the Royals out of their zone, and then all of a sudden it just turned around and all the action was in the Royal zone with the Tigers. There's another shot and another goal. The 23:57 mark. Did you see who got that one?
Yeah, so she turns around here.
They're crediting it to Abney Baker. So Abby Baker picks up her second goal of the season. She's just a freshman.
So that first game tonight, that was same outcome basically as when they played during the regular season.
Yeah, one goal game.
HSC had won that 1-0, scored early, much like tonight, and then there were just no other goals in the first game. So
Royals at one point had a 2-goal lead.
yeah,
Tigers came back and got it down to 1 goal, but the Royals held them tough. Great exhibition of goaltending in that first game tonight, Dan. Both goal contenders did a fantastic job.
yeah. It's Izzy Wallace set a school single-season scoring record as well. With her. She got that first goal.
Yeah, she has 29 on the season now to tie the record.
No, she scored tonight. So
Oh, that's
she has
that's
30
right.
now.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tuesday night. That's quite an accomplishment for that young lady.
Yes, it is. Terrific job. Broke a record that went back a few years. Vandy Ogden, I imagine it was probably about 2001 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that record stood for a long time. Vandy was here tonight. Oh, she was? Yeah, I'm told that Vandy was here tonight.
And I would imagine she was pretty supportive.
Oh, I'm sure.
Got a little more action up here in the stands than we do in the field right now, Dan. We had a young man coming up the stairs, and he almost did a header into the steps.
Oh,
but
that's never
he's
good.
okay.
That's
He's
never
okay. He bounced right up. Miller's keeping the ball back in their own end.
It pretty much looks exactly like what we saw on Tuesday night. So.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Anderson's had a shot on the goal yet, have they?
No, I don't think they.
Now, technically,
had the
that
ball
could have
down
been
there
called
very
a shot
close.
on the goal because if McKenna Monday not made the save, the Indians would have had a goal. Miller's just kind of playing keep away right now, Dan. We're going totally off. More of a radio style broadcast. Try to keep you up on what's happening here. Miller's put that deep into the Indian zone. Ball will go out of bounds.
He's putting a couple starters back in here. Emma Potter's coming back in.
Well, the other thing is, Dan, philosophically, you can call it calling off the dogs too, but the other part of this is you play this late at night in this time of year, and as soon as that sun goes down, that humidity starts to rise, and these fields get a little slippery. Now, we've seen a lot of games at White River Elementary, and that field could almost be classified as an ice rink at times. It's
It
so
is
slippery.
much different up there.
In the games that we've seen down here in other fields, the fields seem to be a little bit firmer, or whatever you want to call it. And there doesn't seem to be as much slippage. But golly, the other thing you'd hate to see happen for either of the teams, you never want to see anybody hurt.
No.
And when you've got a 4-goal lead halfway through the first half already at the 19-20 mark, like the Millers have already, you certainly want to play cautiously and philosophically, why take a chance on an injury?
Right. Yeah, I don't think either team wants an injury here.
Well, you never want to see an injury, but when you do have a lead like this, there's there's more than one reason for for letting the youngsters play. Number one is it gives them experience, and that experience is so important. And playing at the playing at the next level here in the sectional rather than the regular season, it does make a difference.
Well, I hope it'll build on something for them down the road.
They'll have about 48 hours off before they have to play again. A little less than 48 hours they'll be playing. They will play at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. Come out and join the fun.
Well, I imagine it'll be a pretty good crowd here.
It sounds like it's not going to be exactly a real swift day on Saturday.
Haven't heard the weather.
But I'm hearing that we got a chance of some rain tomorrow night. Was talking to Greg Habegger before the game tonight about the football game here at Hamilton Southeastern tomorrow, and he's halfway expecting we could possibly end up with some weather delays.
Really?
Yeah, it just depends where, we can play through rain, but we can't play through that thunder and lightning.
Been pretty fortunate in that area, too. These Friday nights have been pretty nice.
Yeah, we haven't had a bad Friday night all season this year. We've been very, very, very fortunate in the years I've been doing Friday night football. I remember
Well, it's hard to get all those people out of the stands and get them to someplace safe. And at least our field is close enough to the school that you can get people inside there. But
well, in most of the schools nowadays, Dan, they've all got evacuation plans, and I know that is weather, if it's looking at all threatening. Oh, there we have some video back. Thank you to our technical crew. Glad to have that back. But as we get technically a little bit more savvy in stuff with things like radar from the various weather services and stuff like that, we can pretty well predict what's going to happen. And, in the years I've been doing this, I've seen some games stopped before the rain has started just to be able to get people safely out of the stands with lightning and stuff coming in. So no sense in taking a chance, on the safety of the players or the fans.
Well, the big part is getting people actually to leave the stand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go. We've got video. We've got a game going
we're ready
on
to
here.
go here. I remember being at the Indianapolis 500 a number of years ago before Tom Carnegie passed away when he was doing the public address announcing there. And the race had been delayed twice already, and it was over. And Tom comes on the public address system in his big, bold voice, ladies and gentlemen, you must evacuate the stands. There is dangerous weather coming in. You thought that announcement was coming from heaven with his voice.
There you go.
But it's and I don't make light of it. It's nothing to be to make light of at all. It's just you have to be very, very careful with that, and you don't want anybody hurt.
Yeah, there's a slip.
Mm-hmm. I dare say if this was at White River Elementary, probably would have had a few more slips.
I think we have quite a few by now.
But
of course, they're not playing at a pretty fast pace here, so that's going to help them keep their footing. Not a lot of people making cutting runs out here.
74 is the current temperature. Very light wind out of the southeast at about 5. Humidity up to 67% when I was coming out here this afternoon for the first game. It was closer to 80 degrees, and the humidity was down in the 40s. So it's gotten a little damper as the day and evening have come through with us. I'm Brad Silbert along with Dan Axe. Thank you for joining us tonight on Hamilton County Television. We appreciate you being with us. We appreciate the extraordinary effort of our technical crew out here on site, Lucas Lacane and Bill Wofford, finally being able to get everything up and flying here for us, so we can not only bring you an audio description, but bring you the video of the game. Millers will inbound the ball.
Into the
gonna be
game for the
Riley
Millers,
Malloy
number 2, Abby
inbounding
Baker,
the
number
ball.
4, McKenna Corley.
14 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Denver Potter was in and out in a matter of a minute or two there. Not sure what that was about. Put her up top.
Of course, you know, the other thing I've seen the coaches do, Dan, is they'll want to talk to somebody about something, and they'll put somebody back in and say, "Come on over here and let's chat about what happened." And you know, they're always trying to coach, and at the same time, they're teaching at the same time too, which is so important.
We have a corner kick here. It's like Abby Baker will take it. Nice night out here. Lights on the baseball fields. It's very pretty.
Yeah, they were finishing up fall baseball this week. So here comes the corner kick. Deflected over the net by the Indians.
Going to get tried again.
If you don't get it right the first time, do it again, huh? What's that old saying? Practice, practice, practice?
Yeah. About 12 minutes left.
Dan is a coach for both of these teams now. Coming down to 12 minutes here. Obviously, the Millers have set the tone for this game. How does the Millers coaching staff handle this, and how do the Indians handle it from a coaching perspective?
Well, if you're the Millers, it's really hard. It's hard to hold the team back. It's hard to get them to not score. It's hard to, you try to do things like working on passing. That's what they're doing. There's a nice ball in. Nice stop. But there's not a lot to be gained for it. You get some people with time on the field. For Anderson, I'm really not sure what, get some experience, maybe take away some things for next year. But they went a long way last year, so.
So I think, as you're saying, to summarize it, use it as a teaching and learning experience, especially for the younger players.
Yeah, as much as you can. Yeah.
And kind of
Coach Brady's got his subs down on the sideline, juggling the ball at the moment, so he's trying to keep them loose.
Yeah, I looked down at the bench and hardly saw anybody there, and I thought, now wait a second, that's not right.
Well, if you do put them in, you don't want to get anybody hurt.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, it's not excessively hot or excessively cool here tonight. It's very comfortable.
Perfect.
And so hydration is probably not going to be a problem.
No, there wasn't any cramping in the first game.
Well, they did have one. They had one gal from Fishers who cramped up a couple times there in the second half. But other than that, it was it was an injury-free game. And of course, some of these girls, as soon as their soccer season finishes, they'll probably be going on to basketball.
A lot of them are going to finish soccer and immediately go into soccer. There's usually tournaments in Tennessee that you're playing in around Thanksgiving, and if you're a soccer player, you're pretty much playing soccer.
Yeah.
There's, Lydia itself is an example of somebody that plays the two sports.
Right.
But, most of these club coaches are going to want them as soon as they're released.
Yeah, and of course Lydia is an exception because she's a starter on the soccer team, and if she can get herself healthy here and get back in shape, she will probably be a starter on the basketball team. She was a sixth or seventh person on Coach Huppenthal's. So a lot of times you'll see the players, for example, like Bree Baker, who does play for the Royals. She's played basketball, or she's played basketball and soccer, but she'll go on there, and Lillian Liner will play softball this spring. But I really think of course, in a larger school especially, there's a shot on goal right in front Nobody there for the rebound. Millers have it in the corner. Miller's resetting the offense along the close side here. Riley Malloy kicks it back toward the center. Kylie Roberts right in the middle of the field. Over to Maggie Bischoff. Miller's doing a good job of ball handling here, Dan. This might be part of what coach is looking for, you know, saying get out there and show me some good ball handling.
Yeah, they're not under much pressure, though, so in truth, they're not getting much out of that. They're not going to play in that pace in the conference game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the pace of this game compared to what we saw in the first game between Hamilton Southeastern and Fishers, this is probably not even half the pace that game was.
Yep.
That game was brutally
Fishers
quick.
put up a good effort.
Yes,
some
they
girls
did.
have played their last game there tonight. Some seniors that have had nice careers at Fishers.
Mm-hmm. They had some good years over there.
Oh, yeah. Had a state championship.
Mm-hmm. One of the few things in life that can't get taken away.
Yep.
Miller's just ball handling. They're in the middle of the field. Kylie Roberts sends it right up the middle. Miller's still with it. That's McKenna Corley.
This girl's on a hat trick. I don't think she's going to get there for that one. So we're under 7 minutes here in the first half.
Back into the game for the Millers, number 16, Emma Potter. And back into the game for the Indians, number 19, Sylvia Rodriguez.
Don't forget, coming up tomorrow night on Hamilton County Television, Game Day plus our feature game of the week. Coming up from Noblesville tomorrow night, Noblesville football.
Nice, Riley.
Brownsburg Bulldogs will come and visit the Noblesville Millers. Hard to believe there's only 2 games left in the season for football. Hard to believe, Dan, that good, hard-working teachers like you, another day and you got a fall break.
Yes, we do. Well deserved for those kids, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they work hard. Miller's just playing keep away. 5:36 remaining in the first half. 4-0 in favor of the Millers.
Wind's picking up a little bit.
Yes, it is.
Not seeing it on the flag, but up here we're getting it.
For the Millers, it was Sydney Anderson at 39:01. On the 32-minute mark, it was Bella Griffey. Shortly after that, about 31.5, about a few seconds later, Kiana Seifert. Then at the 23:50 mark, Abby Baker. They're the scorers, the 4 goal scorers so far tonight for the Millers. .426 on the clock, first half. Don't forget, in addition to Brownsburg and Noblesville tomorrow night, we'll have game day featuring 4 or 5 of the best games in the area that will be doing look-ins on. Hope you'll be able to join us for that. Busy day coming up Saturday with soccer championships. Girls Championship will be played at 2 o'clock here on Saturday, here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. Millers with a possibility here, broken up by the Indians. But Abby Baker has still got the ball. She gets it over to McKenna Corley. They take it right back to the center of the field. Lexi Gibbs with it. .320 remaining in the half. Quite a few Miller faithful here tonight, Dan. See some red and green out here in the stands too. So
quite a few people across the way there.
Both teams well represented tonight.
Looking to see if we get any other scores here this evening, but usually rely on Richie Hall, and he's here.
So. Yeah, I forgot to bring the other brackets with me tonight, Dan. Two minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. Been all Millers so far, 4-0 in favor of the Millers. Just kind of playing keep away here.
Two minutes.
2 minutes remaining in the half. Good effort there by Maggie Bischoff. Riley Malloy. Nice effort there for the Millers. Kylie Roberts resets the offense. Ava Bramlett, one of the few starters that's still, I think she's the only starter that's on the field now, isn't she, Dan?
I think you're right. Noblesville's got some young men that have painted down here with their shirts off. That's might get a little chilly here this evening.
Well, I hear tell if they try to do that tomorrow night, it's going to be a little cool for that. Might be a little bit rainy. So.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I think when you're dedicated, you're dedicated.
Oh, yeah. Those Miller fans, that's one of the most dedicated groups of high school students I've seen in many, many years. They support their Millers. .35 seconds till halftime. Down to 15 seconds. Millers kick it over to the side, and that will just about do it here for the first half. At the end of 40 minutes, it's the Noblesville Millers 4, the Anderson Indians nothing. Dan, just a quick recap of that first half.
Well, there's not much to say. Noblesville scored early and could probably have scored 3 times as many goals. They just have showed sportsmanship, play the ball around, play some young players. So we'll see what happens in the second half.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight on Hamilton County Television. IHSAA Girls Soccer Class 3A Sectional number 8 semifinals between the Noblesville Millers and the Anderson Indians here from Hamilton Southeastern High School. Brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, also brought to you by Noblesville trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim in the Hamilton County Reporter. We'll be back with the second half after these messages.
When medical care is needed, where will you turn? With Community's Connect to Care program, one call or click finds you the closest open appointment. Request a time yourself, or let us do it. From a primary care doctor or virtual visit, to a med check or community clinic at Walgreens. Just call or click. You can go right to our website or to me. Connect to Care from Community.
Are you tired of watching your favorite IHSAA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the IHSAA and Blue Frame Technology.
First apartment. Dog named Bella. Boyfriend, TJ. With the sweet ride and the bad secrets. Exit TJ. Hey, it's Eric. Wedding, Eric Jr., new house. Luckily, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or cover too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
Hey Deb, why do they call us Logan Street Signs and Banners?
Because we started off at Logan Street.
But we're on South 10th Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
Why didn't we change the name?
That would have just confused everybody and they wouldn't be able to find us.
Now I'm really confused.
Bill, we're Logan Street Signs and Banners, conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street in Noblesville.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order it today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes. They don't always meet in an underground fortress. Sometimes they meet in places that appear to be very ordinary to most people. But inside, there are heroes in training. Some are smart, strong, or brave. Maybe they can build cities or heal people when they get hurt. But even superheroes need some help sometimes. With your support, we can change the world. Together, we are a force that can't be defeated. Support the club. Save the world. Support your local superheroes and donate now to the Boys and Girls Club of Noblesville at bgcni.org.
Welcome back to IHSAA Class 3A semi-final soccer from Hamilton Southeastern School on Hamilton County Television. Brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners. Also brought to you by Noblesville Trophies, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim. The Noblesville Reporter and our good friends at Noblesville Trophies. I'm Brad Silbert along with Dan Axe. And Dan, the teams have had about 10 minutes to talk it over here. What are they talking about?
Well, I'm sure if you're Noblesville, it's don't get hurt. Keep doing what you're doing. They're just passing the ball around. Not sure what Anderson's going to do. He was coaching them up there to try to bring that back line up a little more. But, you know, if Noblesville's not going to make any effort at the goal, then he could probably get away with that. They still only got the 3 subs, but I don't think that's really going to be a factor here at this pace.
Well, the temperature is very, very nice. I mean, you know, it shouldn't be a, thing like it was a hot September or August night when you need to take water breaks like, so many of the sports do. I mean, how many times this year when we were doing games did we see the teams stop about, a third or halfway through the half and take a water break because they were just so tired out.
Yeah, we had people cramping up in many of those games. So, we got a 90% chance of rain tomorrow. So,
it could be interesting for Friday night football over Central Indiana. But the thing I haven't seen, do they have that as thunder and lightning too on your forecast?
Let's see here. Showers early, steady rain later, thunder possible, high of 73 winds, not much wind, but chance of rain 90%.
Yep. Going to be a wet one for Friday night football.
Tomorrow night looks like a 90% chance of rain as well.
We are underway.
Saturday looks good, though, and Saturday night looks good. So
I guess it's not going to be as cool as what they were saying to begin with. Because
right now they're showing 36 degrees.
Yeah,
night,
but
so,
but I thought the way they were talking earlier in the week, the high was only going to be in the 40s.
Yeah, they're showing a high of 56. Wow.
Well, I'm going up to the Windy City Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, so I will make sure that I have a winter coat in the car.
Yeah. We only think it's windy here.
Yeah. Well, you can hear a little bit of wind on our microphones tonight, and every once in a while the wind's picking up a little. It's out of the southeast, about 5 or 10 miles per hour, but not really enough to affect the play here. Millers in their black uniforms will be moving left to right during the second half. Indians in their white uniforms will be moving right to left. Thank you for joining us here on Hamilton County Television. I'd like to thank our technical crew, our producer-director, Will Wofford, cameraman Lucas Lacan, also our executive producer, Jim Wofford, back at the station. These are the technical guys that make Dan and I look good, don't they?
Yeah, it doesn't look like Noblesville's trying to advance the ball either here. They're playing it back again through each person, so they're getting a workout. Anderson's pressing high.
That one didn't get the call. The Anderson bench wanted an out of bounds, but they did not get it. Here come the Millers down the close side. Abby Baker with the ball. She centers it. Oh, just a little bit out high there. She had a teammate there, but just the ball went just outside of her. Baker in the middle once again, trying to reset the offense for the Millers.
She didn't have much company up there. There's just 2 of them up high.
No, she didn't. Well, they've got 7 players back behind the center line, Dan.
Yep. Kevin Chatterton joining us here in the booth to make some changes on the menu.
Say Paige Landers is wearing number 26 tonight now, instead of Maggie Bischoff.
I think what a lot of schools do is they can only dress, I believe, 25 for each game, so they'll change the 25. And if you're in that lot tonight, you're getting on the field. So
well, they put these rosters together, Dan, and they put a lot of extra players on them, but then they say, well, this one won't dress, this one won't, and here comes Baker down the side, centers it.
That's really a useful thing, though, that increasing the roster, because that allows you to see what next year's team's going to look like. You can practice a lot. You can train with the people you're going to have next year, as well as you now got enough to play 11v11, when you're, which you don't most of the year unless you use your JV team. And it's a reward for the people that have played well on the junior varsity.
Yes, it certainly is.
Or oftentimes there's a freshman or two that come up from the freshman team.
That one goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Indians. Number 23, Kiana Jordan. About 35 and a half minutes remaining in this one. Millers, the Indians. One of these two teams will be playing the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. There's a centering pass right across the goal, no shot. Looks like what the Millers are doing here, Dan, is they're doing everything except the final shot.
Yeah, and that's good.
Trying to get things set up. Indians try to take the ball away. Kalaja Fleming did a nice job of ball handling there in the center for the Indians. Down into the corner, it's a foot race. Yep. Yeah. Is it going to end up out of bounds or not? It's right there on the line, and Indians keep it from going out of bounds. Miller's right in front of the net, but take it back. Miller's retreat, put it back toward the middle of the field. McKenna Corley sends it down along the close sideline. First game here tonight went to the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, and Dan, what I would call a hotly contested game tonight in that first game.
Yeah, it was competitive. I'm not sure either team played at their top, but it was a competitive game. Certainly put a scare into HSE.
And it was so back and forth there at one time. The momentum was just shifting back and forth as the game would go by. The Royals would have the momentum for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then the Tigers take the momentum right back. And both of the teams had some excellent scoring opportunities. They also had some excellent defensive plays too, which made a heck of a difference. Here's one center, but Millers will not get a shot off. Kylie Roberts sends it out. There's a shot in the middle. Baker. She missed the goal.
A lot of cheering out of this Noblesville bench and this group of young men down here that have painted. They're definitely into it. That was a corner with one person in front of the goal only. In fact, one other person in this side of the
Abby Baker had an opportunity there, and she just plain and simple missed, Dan.
Yeah, I think she did.
And I don't think Coach would have been upset if she would have scored on that one. Miller sent it back to their goaltender, McKenna Mundy. She kicks it into play. Lexi Gibbs with the ball. Getting a little playing time tonight, along with Morgan Peters. A lot of freshmen and sophomores out there on the field right now. Here comes McKenna Corley. She's got one to beat. Does not get a shot off, deflected by the Indians.
Nice bit of defending there.
Mm-hmm.
So this time they're going to have 3 people in the box. There we go.
Corner kick coming up.
For the Millers, number 0, Isabel Imes.
Isabel Imes, who normally is a goalkeeper, is in there, Dan, on the field now. Isabel Imes has taken over in the goal for McKenna Monday. Her day is done. Imes, a sophomore goalkeeper who didn't see a whole lot of varsity action this year. Saw a little bit, but not a lot. Millers with the ball on the far side of the field. They center it. Taking it across. It's Abby Baker once again. In the corner, she works it free. Centers it. Oh, just missed there by the Millers. Good opportunity, Dan.
Yeah, it was a decent cross. Once again, they're playing the ball all the way back. No, still got 6 people behind the 7 people, 8 people in their own half now. Wind's picked up quite a bit.
Yes, it has. Straight out of the east now, blowing right into our face, right across our microphone. Sorry about the wind noise in the microphones. Millers with the ball deep in the Indian zone. A centering play. Tried for the header goal, but missed. Chasing it down along the far side. We got a foul called there. Very blatant foul right in the back. Pushing and pushing in the back. Millers will kick the ball into play. Just about even with the goal box line. In addition to the goaltenders, the Millers have got 5 and 6 people on the defensive side of midfield, Dan.
Yeah, there's not a lot of chances they're going to get through there.
No.
Goodness.
No, people who didn't see this game tonight or just, see a score somewhere, they're not going to understand how this game progressed. But the Millers have, for the most part, dominated this game.
I'd say they've totally dominated.
I don't think the Indians have had a shot on goal tonight, have they?
No, not even a threat.
But people will see a 4-0 score and say, gee, that was a little closer than what we thought it would be. Well,
he may turn them loose here a little bit yet, too. Still got 28 minutes left.
Well, if Coach Brady let him go, Coach Brady hadn't, shall we say, had him back off a little bit. Officially, you can never say back off, but I think we all understand what's happening.
Yeah, we see it.
And, in that, but this would probably easily be at least a 10 or 15 goal lead at this point. Just under 28 minutes remaining here. Millers, unless something really miraculous happens here, will meet the Royals. Whoa,
right
yeah, that was
kind of a hospital ball back to the keeper.
That was a little bit close there for Imes, but she got the ball out of there. I don't think she thought that Indian forward was coming in quite as fast as she was.
an offside.
So the Indians will get the ball back.
Well, Anderson won a couple games this year, so they've been competitive in games.
They were 1-4 in the conference, 2-8 overall.
There's some other teams. There's a lot of teams in the state that would play Noblesville and be hard pressed to be competitive with them. This is just a very good Noblesville team.
Yes, it is.
Currently, I think ranked second. They beat the number 1 team. They won their conference, probably the best, if it is the best conference in the state. So, it's a different level of soccer when you get here. And,
well, you look at
there's some lower class, class 1, class 2 teams that Anderson might be competitive with. So it's just tough to come up and play in 3A.
Well, and you look at Hamilton County soccer overall, Dan, and you got Carmel right up there in the top 10. You got Hamilton Southeastern. You got Fishers. You've got Westfield. You got a lot of talented soccer teams here, and the fact that the Millers were able to go through this this season at 6-0-1. That's pretty amazing. A lot of people talk about the quality of the Hoosier Crossroad Conference overall, and you talk to some of the coaches, and most of them say, I love the competition, It gets you ready.
Yeah, it does.
It gets you ready for sectional time, Dan.
Problem is you got 3 of the same teams here in the same.
Yeah.
And you get into, when it used to be 1 class, there were years when we had Zionsville and Westfield and other powerhouses here as well. And so they've done a good job of kind of splitting that up. Number of teams now that go south to alleviate that problem. But this sectional is just a tough place for Muncie Central and Anderson to be playing.
Well, overall, in Class 3A, Dan, it's got to be. My opinion, and obviously I'm a little bit biased, as I think you are. I think we both think that this sectional is probably one of the toughest ones in the state, if not the toughest.
No, I
hands
think
down.
it is the toughest, yeah.
Now, being in the northern half of the state, of course, you're going to be competing when you get to semi-state level against teams like Penn and the dominance they've had for all the years. And
Penn, Homestead, the Fort Wayne teams. There's a lot of good teams out there. And then down south, you've got some terrific teams.
I remember 2 or 3 years ago, we went up to Kokomo to do the semi-state up there between the Millers and Penn. And that one was such a dogfight. It ended up going to overtime. And was finally decided on penalty kicks.
Yeah, that was an excellent Penn team.
Mm-hmm. Millers came close, though. Came very, very close. Played that in the Municipal Stadium up there in Kokomo, the new baseball facility that Kokomo High School and Indiana University at Kokomo use. And I was told when we were up there, when they laid out the field on that, they told them that they wanted that thing laid out such that the soccer field would fit in there because they wanted to play regional and semi-state there. Friend Richie Hall from the Hamilton County Reporter here with us tonight. Richie's going to probably get us some scores here shortly. He's always got the resources. He knows where they're at. Cathedral went down tonight, Dan. 1-0 in overtime, I'm told. Shot, missed, wide to the right. That's going to roll out of bounds. And we got 22 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this one.
Back into the game for the Millers, number 9, Isabella Griffey, number 8, J.C. Hoopengarner, and number 18, Ellie Knoll. Back into the game for Anderson, number 6, Ariel Sanchez.
4 substitutes hit the turf for the Millers. Indians getting ready to put the ball back in play right there at 22:09. The Indians have been outplayed, Dan, but they haven't. They have not given up.
No, they're still out there. They're still
trying.
Still working it.
Yeah. Kenna Corley sends it down the field. I believe that's J.C. Hoopengardner back there with it. She gets it over to Paige Landers. We were calling her Bischoff earlier and got corrected. Thanks for getting the correction to us. We like to try to get them right.
Parents like that.
Mm-hmm. Richie Hall got some scores here for us, Dan, if you want to read those off there, if you can.
See, Tipton 2. Can't read that one, sorry. Carmel beat Zionsville, looks like 3-0. Guerin 3-0 over North Central. Heights, by a
Heights,
big score over Delta. Who Tipton play? Oh, over University, 2-0. Thank you.
Thanks to Richie Hall, Hamilton County reporter. There's one going toward the goal, stopped by the goaltender. Just about halfway through the second half here. 20 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this one.
If I'm reading this right, it looks like Avon won tonight. They'll be in the finals against the winner of the Brownsburg-Mooresville game at Decatur Central. Well, that's good for Avon.
Mm-hmm. Avon having a dream season football-wise this year, undefeated. A lot of good football there in the western suburbs, Dan.
We're getting some pretty good football over here on this side of town.
Yes, sir. Bella Griffey with the ball. Centers it. No shot taken. Riley Malloy goes after it. There's Bella Griffey again. They got high to McKenna Corley. Corley looking for help inside. Got one to beat there, but the ball does go out of bounds. It'll go back to the Indians.
So we're under 19 minutes.
Appreciate you being here with us tonight, wherever you may be watching or listening. Dan, I know you got family out of the country listening. Well, not actually out of the country, but
back in the country.
Yeah, way in the western part of the country listening tonight.
Yeah, we had one close by here, and I don't know if he's still stuck with us, but he was there for the first game.
Thank you for joining us here in Hamilton County Television. We appreciate you being with us. Always a pleasure to be able to bring these games to you. Down in the corner, Miller's dig it out of the corner. Center it, try for the header. Riley Malloy tried to deflect that ball into the net with a header, but just missed it. There's another centering pass. Bella Griffey couldn't get pull the trigger on it. Griffey. That one is going to roll out of bounds. Any more scores there, Dan?
No, it was just Avon had beaten Plainfield, but I didn't get a final score on it. It was they were up at halftime, but they did go on and win, and I think the Brownsburg game is on right now against Mooresville.
17-20 remaining in this one. Looks like it'll be the Noblesville Millers and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon on Hamilton County Television. We will have that game. We will have video. But unfortunately, due to prior commitments, it will be a video-only presentation. Don't have to put up with us chatting on Saturday, Dan.
We miss these weather reports we give.
Yeah. And we'll be doing the same thing.
It may be wet, but it won't be from dew.
Yeah.
So.
We'll be doing the same thing Saturday night. Another Hamilton Southeastern Noblesville match. On the boys' side, shot toward the goal, just cannot get there in time, but managed to save it from going out of bounds. Good effort there by McKenna Corley for the Millers. Kiana Seifert puts it back in the center. That wind has picked up considerably now.
Yes, it has.
The flag is very almost straight out here behind the.
It's pretty much blowing right in our faces.
Behind the north goal.
It's a gorgeous night.
Yeah. Lower these windows just a little. Maybe it won't blow on our microphones quite as much.
Number 10, Riley Malloy.
Millers make another substitution. Riley Malloy comes back in. All the scoring happened in the first half of the first half. Sydney Anderson, Bella Griffey, Kiana Seifert, and Abby Baker, all with goals for the Millers. First goal happened in the first opening minute of the match. Miller's just doing a little more keep away out there.
Yeah, they've got Anderson spread out about as much as they could spread them out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, still keeping 7 people in their own half.
Under 15 minutes remaining. That one's probably going to go out of bounds. It does. It'll go over to the Indians. So, Dan, let's talk about these matchups that we will see on Saturday. We know for sure on the boys' side that it'll be the Royals and the Millers. Talk about those two teams and what you might expect to see them do Saturday.
Well, I think the Hamilton Southeastern maybe is a little bit healthier than when they played earlier. I think it'll be a good game, and it'll be very competitive. So, and it's played at Noblesville, so that's usually an advantage for Noblesville.
Mm-hmm.
I spent some time tonight with Coach White from Hamilton Southeastern, and they're looking forward to it. I think everybody that they can get back healthy is probably back and healthy.
Of course,
been a lot of illness going through the school.
Mm-hmm.
On the girls' side, you know, this is likely going to be Noblesville, and that's a well-known matchup, and those folks have played against each other for a long time, and you know, played club and have played through the year. The earlier game there, Noblesville won 1-0. Was it 1-0?
Yes, it was. I think it was 1-0.
So, you know, that's
Kylie Roberts.
a chance for Hamilton Southeastern to settle that, even it up. So we'll see.
Number 16, Evelyn Rodriguez.
Yeah, they played for the
19,
conference
Rodriguez.
championship.
Yes, they did.
And at the time, the Royals, I believe, were ranked number 1 in the state.
Yes, yeah, and that dropped them to 3 for the final.
Because I think the last ranking I saw, I think Carmel has got the number 1 ranking now.
Yeah, I think it's Carmel, Noblesville, and HSE.
Well, as we talked about earlier, Hamilton County, just a plethora of excellent soccer teams. Deflection toward the net there. But Anya Stevens
Sorry,
comes out.
that was a 2-1 score the first time.
Okay, I knew it was a one-goal game, but I couldn't remember exactly what the score was. Millers will put the ball back in play. That's Riley Malloy inbounding it. Malloy back across the center field line.
Coach Brady's getting a chance to see some people handle the ball. They're getting some pressure now, maybe a little bit more than they had before.
Mm-hmm. Paige Landers in there again for the Millers.
And pretty much no matter how you draw the sectional, it seems like it comes down to 2 of these 3 teams. So
yeah. Miller's trying to get back to prevent the shot. They do. They break it up. Miller's on the offense again. Get everybody back on side here. That one's going to go out of bounds. And it'll go to the Indians. 10:40 remaining. Got a stoppage of play for a couple more substitutions.
Number 3, Summer Foxhuber, and number 6, Ariel Sanchez.
If you look, Dan, at this sectional, on both the boys and girls sides, you really have, of the 6 teams that are in it, you have 3 that you would have to rate as very good to excellent. One kind of in the middle in Pendleton Heights, and a couple of the other weaker ones, and at least this year, Muncie Central and Anderson. So it's quite a mix in that sectional.
Pendleton usually plays in their conference. That typically comes down to Pendleton or Mount Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
They're both good programs.
Mount Vernon over Greenfield Central 7-1 to advance. And they will play East Central for the sectional championship on Saturday.
I've driven to East Central to do some scouting before.
Oh boy, deflection, a header right over the net. She'd like to have that one back, wouldn't she, Dan?
Yeah, I think she would. It's pretty open header there.
Mm-hmm.
Into the game for the Millers, number 7, Lexi Gibbs.
Lexi Gibbs comes off the bench.
Thought he was going to make a keeper change there for a minute, but I guess not. He had one of them warming up.
Isabella Griffey comes out of the game. A little over 8:20 remaining here. I think the Indians have been just a mite bit more competitive than what Muncie Central was the other night, Dan.
Yeah, and I also think that, yeah, I think you're right. Well, and they were last year. Remember, they took Fishers to overtime or shootout there.
Yep. There's a centering pass. Blocked by the Indians. Ellie Knoll had the ball, tried to get it into the center. Lexi Gibbs with it right out in front of the net. She takes a shot and she scores.
Well, there you go.
So Lexi Gibbs gives the Millers a 5-0 lead. Here comes the Miller faithful. Let's see, for Lexi Gibbs, that's her first goal, first point of the season. She's a senior defender. Not very often the defenders get the goals, do they,
No,
Dan?
not too many. Not too many.
So we are back to action.
Especially at Noblesville. That's not a position that it gets forward all that much.
Mm-hmm. Five to nothing now in favor of the Millers. Last 7 minutes of action here. Sectional 8, Class 3A. Girls soccer. Thank you for joining us tonight on Hamilton County Television. Brought to you by, among others, the Hamilton County Reporter, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, our friends at Church, Hiddle, and Antrim. Another shot goes wide to the right, and that will go out of bounds.
Good-looking moon up there.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Cloud in front of it, got that Halloween feel.
Those October moons, the harvest moons. Indians kick the ball back into play. Trying to get something going here.
Get up-to-the-minute information for state championship events by following the IHSAA on Twitter at IHSAA1. That's IHSAA1.
Miller's just keeping the ball away.
You're good at being you.
Lexi Gibbs puts it back
Indiana Farm
toward
Bureau
the
Insurance is good at your insurance.
midfield
Find the
stripe.
agent to help you think about it at infb.com.
I think what we're seeing a little bit of right now, too, Dan, is on the part of the Indians. I think we're seeing a little bit of fatigue when they've only got three subs. They've got to be tired.
They're chasing the ball down here. You got them right here.
Yeah, they have not given up by any means. I mean, they're just they're still chasing after it.
/apply now.
They're trying to put the effort into it.
Proud sponsor of the IHSAA.
Miller's trying to center it there. Trying to get it to Ellie Knoll, but it's blocked by the Indians.
From skilled tradesmen to project
Ellie
managers
Knoll
to
with the
technical
ball.
engineers and even
Sends it
company
back.
owners. The depth of opportunity has never been greater. Check out Built to
Knoll, the
Succeed.org
closest
for more
Miller
information
to
on
the
the
goal.
Indiana Careers and Construction Association.
There were five Indians between her and the goal, Dan.
You don't dream of simply playing soccer. You dream of dominating it. Wilson exists to push you so the distance between your dreams and reality becomes a little
I'd like
shorter.
to thank the staff here at Hamilton Southeastern High School for their hospitality. Athletic directors Jim Self, Greg Habegger, Athletic Secretary Nancy Klingman for providing us with a lot of the information we use tonight, our press box crew, and they make you feel very at home here, Dan.
Yes, they do.
Good people.
And they have up at Noblesville as well.
Yes.
Especially with that air conditioning up there.
Well, we are very fortunate the places that we go with Hamilton County Television that we have been always made to feel very welcome there, and we appreciate it. It certainly makes our job a lot easier. And we enjoy bringing these games to you folks. I mean, it's nice to be out, it's nice to be out here with the crowd, but there's times when you just can't get there. There's times like, when you got family traveling, Dan, that they want to be able to see this, and with
out-of-town grandparents, there's a lot of people that watch.
Yep. With things like the World Wide Web like we've got right now, there's no reason to miss a game. You can see all of them. Coming up to 3 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. Millers will just be content to run this clock down and leave Fishers tonight with a 5-0 victory. Go home and practice tomorrow. Hopefully they'll get a practice in, depending what the weather is. Be back here Saturday afternoon for a 2 o'clock start for the championship of Sectional 8.
I would imagine they'll probably be watching some film on that first game tonight.
Yeah. About 2:20 remaining. Morgan Peters had the ball there. Miss Karam James with her foot on it. Go to Riley Malloy.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes left in this one. Riley Malloy down the near sideline. Going down in the corner to Ellie Knoll. She picks it up to Malloy. Back to Knoll. Centering pass out high. Lexi Gibbs with it. Puts it back across the midfield stripe. Morgan Peters sends it pretty well down into the deeper part of the Miller zone. Paige Landers. Just about 1 minute remaining. A lot of the fans have already headed for the cars, Dan.
Yes, I believe they have. We won't be fighting traffic.
Well, the fortunate thing is that bad weather didn't move in today.
Yeah.
We are under a minute, 45 seconds.
And a good thing about this, I didn't see any injuries out there tonight.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
good.
that's very fortunate.
Everybody healthy for Noblesville.
In that first game, we saw one of the Fishers players go down with cramping or some kind of a leg injury. 15 seconds remaining.
10.
Dan, I want to thank you for all your help this season. I'm not sure if we'll get anything at the regional level, but if we do, we'll be back together again. If not, it's been a great season. Really appreciate your help and your expertise. And also thanks to our technical crew of Will Wofford and Lucas LeCain out here and Jim Wofford back in the studio. Dan, your thoughts on this match?
Well, there wasn't much to say. Noblesville has played at a significantly higher level and shown a lot of sportsmanship here, so that was real good. And nobody got hurt. That was good. And we wish Anderson good luck for next year.
Once again, the final score 5-0. The Noblesville Millers over the Anderson Indians. You've been watching IHSAA Sectional 8 Class 3A semifinal soccer on Hamilton County Television. Brought to you by Noblesville Trophies, also our friends at Logan Street Signs and Banners. I'm Brad Silbert on behalf of Dan Axe and all of our technical crew. Good night from Hamilton Southeastern High School.